We're back on the air. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of the show, also CEO of Mage Management Consulting, and we are being hosted every day this week at O'Brien and Levine Court Reporting. That means we're on the record. That's the name of this show. And my co-host for the week, always there to back me up on these legal shows, Mark Z from Mark Z Legal Staffing.
Always there. I always have your back, Jeff.
Wow, that sounds good. You did actually on the weekend. Saved me a lot of work. And our next guest, let's see if I can pull this one off, Christina Graziano. So tell us about your practice.
Sure, I'm happy to, and thank you both so much for having me this morning. Kreindler & Kreindler is the nation's premier aviation firm. We're based in New York with an office here in Boston in the Back Bay, and our practice now encompasses, as I said, aviation, wrongful death, garden variety, torts, personal injury, and then the more complex mass torts in pharmaceutical and drug device cases.
Christina, how did you get into this practice? Because first of all, your firm was a specialty aviation firm, and now, as you were saying to us, it's moving into more medical malpractice, products liability work. But what led you to this field?
Honestly, it was a bit of an accident. In many family members and friends thought it was funny that someone who's very afraid of flying would end up at an aviation firm. But when I was a second-year law student, I knew that I'd had government experience and I'd had other internships not in a law firm, and I wanted something on the plaintiff side that was really important to me, to have more client contact than, say, working for an insurance company. And I interviewed at Kreindler, loved the people. The partner in our Boston office is Anthony Terracone, who, of course, his reputation precedes him. He's the former president of the Mass Academy of Trial Attorneys, as well as a former president of the American Association for Justice. So to have an interest in plaintiff's work, there's no one better in Boston to work for than Anthony Terracone.
Correct. I remember he was partners with Camille Saroof.
That's right.
And has a very strong reputation, so obviously that says something about your firm. What stages of the practice are you aggressively involved in? In other words, when you're working with Anthony and people in the firm, where do you get involved as an attorney?
Really, from soup to nuts. I mean, anything from client contact, like getting the clients in the door and making them feel comfortable and feel like we're the right fit for their legal needs, up to pre-trial civil litigation, especially working with defense counsel with discovery requests has kind of been an area that I've been focusing on over the past couple of years. And then up till trial, we just actually had a mass tort against a dialysis company kind of wrap up, and we were liaison counsel. And we actually, the case kind of reached settlement on the literal day before trial, but I was heavily involved in that process and kind of working one of the bellwether cases up to trial, which was a really unique experience.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that case?
Sure. It was a mass tort, so it's a consolidation of actions against a company based out of Waltham. And there was litigation pending in state court in Middlesex County, as well as in the federal court here in Boston in front of Judge Woodlock. And like I said, Kreindler was one of the chief firms. We served as plaintiff liaison counsel and kind of orchestrated the plaintiff's position in front of the judge, which was really interesting, and worked with thousands of plaintiffs from, that our firm represents and that other plaintiffs' firm represents, who unfortunately themselves or their loved ones were subject to a dialysis product that was, we believe, to be substandard and led to their injury. So it was incredibly rewarding, as a law clerk, as a law student. It was one of the first cases that I got the chance to work on, and then seeing it, like I said, we're currently in settlement negotiations, so I don't want to say too much, but, seeing it kind of come to fruition and getting to know some of the clients over the years and tackling complex legal issues has really been an experience that I had never had before on another case.
I understand that your practice is multi-district.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us more about how that works? Because so you're not just in one area. You cover a lot of ground in terms of where your firm practices, correct?
Sure, and it's more of a recent practice area for our firm. And actually, there's an attorney here in our Boston office, Julie Ferraro, who's a premier multi-district litigation lawyer. She's worked on She's worked on a number of different pharmaceutical and drug and device cases. She's currently involved in the Zofran litigation, which is a birth defect drug. So I actually wish she was here so I could defer some of this to her. But yeah, I mean, we're really involved heavily in Massachusetts in local cases, but also able to get involved on a leadership level in a lot of these cases that are, Zofran happens to be in Boston also, but some of these other mass tort cases are around the country. And our firm luckily has the reputation and the resources to attract clients from around the country and serve those clients well, not only in terms of client contact and, like I said earlier, getting to know our clients, but also offering, top-notch legal representation.